There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Take a straight on. What I'm mostly concerned about is water coming up the back patio. There's Keith out. He's our upstairs neighbor. Keith is out on his patio. It's when it's nice to live on the second floor. And let me get a close-up shot of Keith here. There's Keith. That's the second floor. Here's our apartment down here. And there's where the water can come up onto the patio, right there. And if it does, we've got a little bit of sand there by the back patio door, but that's no guarantee. There's Keith. Hey, no guarantee. Here's a runner. It's out for a run. But here's the problem. This whole area back here just fills up with water. And the only possible saving grace we have, to clean the lens off again. Dry the lens off here. The only saving grace we have is that the water may be able to escape to our south around behind Carla's apartment and onto the parking lot and then out into the road, because it slopes. Once you get to the parking lot, it slopes down to the road. So if that's about the only way that we're going to keep water out of our patio, is if it's able to sneak out by Carla's apartment, which is, next door to us. I don't think the water can make it over this little berm here. If it could, that would help, because it would give it another avenue to run away from us. Because if it rains for another 2 or 3 more days without letting up, I don't know how we're gonna, I don't know how we're gonna keep the water off the patio. Like I said, we have a little escape channel to our, which would be our southwest, and then we have this potential escape channel over this path here. Let's see if I can get a better shot of it. Right over here, if that water, that's hard to say which way that slopes, but if it can run towards the east, that would give it another place to go rather than go up our patio. And that's really the problem, is we really want that water to get over here and push eastward and not push up our patio here. So here's where I'm hoping the escape hatch will be down this alleyway. There's our apartment right there. Let me get a close-up. There's our apartment. That's my window and my chair that I sit in. That's our back patio there. Pan out a little bit. There's our apartment right there. Now, this is headed towards Crystal Springs. And what I'm hoping is that the slope of the land is such that the water can drain off this way. If the water can drain off this way to our south and our west, hopefully we can keep it off the patio. If not, it's going to come up the patio and towards the patio door, and thus into the living room. But when I look at this, take a closer look at this, I'm optimistic that the water will slope to the south, that the slope of the land is such that the water can drain off, and I'll show you where, that the water can come through this little alleyway. That's our kitchen window. Okay? That's the kitchen window. You can already see that, you know, where the water is there. There's the window. There's the water. And here's Carla's apartment. What I'm hoping is that the slope of the land is such that the water can come this way and find a little escape route down here. Because see, Carla's got some water on her patio, but it's not going up. That it can find a way to get under this fence right there. Right there. Okay, that's her bedroom window. And here's the fence to the parking lot. And if the water can find its way, where are we? Through there. Through there. Through there. And even possibly through here. Right through here. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping for. That the water will come right by our apartment, right past Carla's apartment, right past her bedroom window, and then out into the parking lot. That's our best hope. If the water can keep finding a way through there, it's got to find a way out. If it has no way out, it's going to come up our patio and Carla's patio. But I have a feeling, and here I'm now in the parking lot, and here I can see the water coming through, which is exactly what I want to see. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the water making its way under this fence. You can see it rushing through. This is our saving grace, I hope, is the water coming through here, finding its way under the fence, into the parking lot, and down to the street. Here I am in the parking lot. And here's another spot where the water can come through. I'm going to get under here. See, the water can come through here as well. But it's still, the elevation's a little bit higher. So it's got to get up over this lip. It's got to get up over this lip. See, it can come under here, but then it's got this lip, this pavement that it's got to jump. It's coming through here, but it's maybe, I don't know, another half inch maybe. So the only escape hatch right now is this. This is it. This is our saving grace. This, let's see, that would be about 15 feet. 15 feet of fence where the water can come through and get out into the parking lot. And then I'm just going to follow it so you see where the water goes. The water goes down the parking lot, this away, out into the parking lot. Here we go. Here we go. There's one of my cars. There's Dominique. He's our neighbor. And he's got all kinds of problems with water coming in from the top there and also from the bottom here. He's trying to get things squared away here. But he's got water in the house already. Yeah, he's just trying to keep the water out. But he's got water in the apartment. You can see here, he's got water in here. He's got water in here, see? He's got water coming through. Yep. And that's Alex right there. Oh, he's got water also all over the place. I mean, it's everywhere. You can see it going towards the back of the apartment, the bedroom. Right now, it's also coming up the patio. You got it coming up the patio. You got it in the kitchen, the eating area, the entryway. There's Alex tapping the water right there. It's real, it's wet, and it's all over the place. And Dominique is working furiously to keep it out. There's Dominique, working hard, trying to keep that water out. Trying to keep that water out. Trying to keep that water out. Okay, here we are back in the driveway. This is where I'm hoping that the water will go. We'll go right out here, right out down to the street. So I'm just going to walk that way. This is where I hope the water will end up. I hope that the water will drain down the back of the driveway here in the parking lot and go straight out into the road and down into the storm sewers, which Kingwood has a pretty good storm sewer system. And as you can see, the water is still flowing because the water that goes down here and goes into this storm sewer finds its way down into River Grove and into the, not sure if it's the San Jacinto River, but here you can see it going down there. And then it finds its way into Lake Houston. I think it is the San Jacinto. So you can see the water. Water's going right down into the storm sewer. It's still draining. It's draining very well. And you can see that close up here. You can see that water. That water is draining well, very well. So fortunately for us, the storm sewer system is still functional and it's able to gobble up most of this water. So that's why the street doesn't look too bad. Now, there's some water by the parked cars here, but for the most part, the storm sewer system right outside the parking area is handling it. And here it comes from the west, and it's also coming from the east, and of course, from the north. So I'm just going to retrace my steps. I'm going to hope and pray that the water can escape under that 15 feet of fence. And that way, that pond in the back of our apartment will not come into the house. And like I say, we've got a little bit of sand, some sandbags up there, but I'm hoping we never have to get to that point where the water is actually pushing against the rear patio door. All right, here's Dominique's problem again. He's got water coming in from up here, from the second floor, and he's got water coming in from the bottom. And he had it fixed himself. And then the maintenance people went and redid it, undid all his work, but they did it like the day before the hurricane. And so it never had time to cure, so they were never able to seal up all these leaks. So Dominique is struggling with water in his apartment. There's one of my cars. You can see there's no threat of any flooding. And here's the other car. And of course, once again, no threat of flooding. The cars are safe. I don't know if we're safe, but the cars are safe. As long as the water can keep finding its way under this section of fence, we may make it. We may make it. And it would be really nice if it could find its way under this whole section of fence, because that would allow a lot more water to come out and to drain that huge pond, which we're going to take another look at here. I'm getting a low battery, so I may have to shut this off, but here we come back out towards, I think I'll shut it off now, but here's I'll just give a panoramic view here of Foster Elementary, looking out at Crystal Springs, coming back to the apartment complex, parking lot, and then, of course, Carla's apartment, and we're right around the corner here. Okay.